Last type of problem for our test on Monday is maximizing area. It really does help to draw the area. So draw a picture for all these, because this one's saying it is not required to have a fence along the river. So here's our river in green, apparently, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. This is our river. And then we're just building a fence, rectangular fence around it. So it doesn't matter what you say is X and what you say is Y, as long as you label them. I'm going to call these X's and this Y. If you do the opposite, just our end answers, we'll do a little bit of different work, and our end answers will be switched. So this picture, we're maximizing our area equation. This picture tells us our perimeter. There's 2 X's and 1 Y, because we don't need the second Y because of the river. The perimeter, we have 3,000 yards of fencing. And then we have to solve for Y. If you said these were Y and this was X, you would actually have to divide by 2 after you subtract your X. So it's a little bit different steps. Oh, don't lose a 0. It's so easy to make a mistake just losing a 0. So there's what Y equals, and we're going to plug that into my area equation. So area equals X times Y, and we just discovered Y was 3,000 minus 2X. Distribute, because it's easier to put in a calculator, 3,000 X minus 2X squared. So there's our area equation. So back to our current document. 3,000X minus 2X. I have to zoom out. Where is the, oh, there it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So I now have my 2 legs. Here's our maximum. Oh my goodness. I lost it. Lost the graph. I'm going to go negative 50, positive 250, 17. Oh, here we go. Kind of got it. All right, so I'm gonna, 50 wasn't enough. We're gonna go with 600. Enough. Oh, almost. 1,500. There we go. So we need the maximum because we're trying to maximize this area question. And we're going to round 2 decimal places. 750, 1,125,000 and X. Okay, so that's my maximum. 750 is my X. This is my maximum area. Because that was the equation was, that's area, not Y. Be careful there. A lot of people were messing that up. So it says, what is the maximum area of the field? 1,125,000 yards squared. And I was curious because it's a huge, ridiculously huge number. So I was curious how much that literally was. And it's only 178 football fields, if you're curious. You weren't? I was. 128 football fields. Okay. What is the dimension of the fenced in portion? So the dimensions, we know what X is. So 750. And now we have to figure out Y. And you can figure out Y using 2 equations. We can either use this one, which a lot of people think is the easiest, or this one, which you already have solved for Y. So I think this equation is easier, but people have been loving this one. Because we have our area, we have our X, and we solve for Y. So 1,125,000 equals 750X. And then you just divide by 750. I'm sorry, 750Y, because we plugged in X. So we divide by 750 and you get your answer. Y equals, put in the calculator, and I get 15 1500. Or, like I said, you could use this one too. Still plugging in your x, and then you could get y is 1500. You choose whichever method you like better. This one's solved for y, so I like this method better. But it is 750 was x yards by 100 yards, 1500 yards. And then my last thing says draw and label your picture, because I need to know which one you said was x and which one you said was y. So here's my river. Here's my picture. This is my 750 yards. This is my 1500 yards. That's not a good picture. That should be more like it. Okay? All right. So those are my answers. Moving on to the next one. A rancher wants to construct two identical rectangular pins using 200 square feet. The rancher decides to build them adjacent to each other so they are sharing one side of the fence. Ta-da! Set the equation you need to maximize the area and state the secondary equation. Need to eliminate a variable. Write your quadratic equation to maximize the area. All right, I'm going to let these be my x's and these be my y's. So we're maximizing our area equation. So our perimeter equation, I let these be x. So I have 3 x's and 2 y's. If you have 2 x's, because you let these be x and these be y, that's fine. Your answers are just going to be reversed, and your work will be a little different than mine. If you want to see me change this up and have these be y's and these be x's, I can do that on Monday when I'm back here. So 200 divided by 2 is 100 equals y. And then we're plugging that into our area equation. This has nothing to do with this problem. I'll just delete it to not confuse people. Okay. Plugging y in. So we know area equals x times 100 minus 3/2 x. Distribute. Remember, you can always slow these videos down if I go too quickly. Or you can pause it, try to work it yourself, see how you do, get stuck, come back, see how you actually do it, figure it out, and that's how you study. New tab. Oops. 100x minus 3 x squared. Make sure the x squared pops out. Windows settings. I don't feel like playing this game. I'm going to go high. I'm going to go. Oh, no. I just don't want to play this game anymore. 500. Yeah. No, still not high enough. 100 looks good. I'm going to double 1,000. 2,000. Oh, nice. Then you realize maximum. Ooh, ugly. I'm going 2 decimal places. So 33.33. 33.33 and 166.67. I think that's right. 166.67. Yeah, that's it. So here's our x, and here is our area, maximum area. What dimensions should the ranchers use to construct each corral so that together they will form the possible area? So our dimensions are x times our y's. So we have x, we do not have y. So I'm going to use this equation to solve for y, because it is solved for y already. 3/2 times 33.33. And since I rounded this will be rounded a little bit. I'm going to make this okay, so 100 minus 3/2, 33.33. 50.01, I guess, if I'm rounding to the hundredth places. Whoa, reverse that. Okay, so my x was 33.33. feet. My y is 50.01 feet. What is the largest possible area? This one. All right, so I'm labeling it. Y was 50.01 feet. And X was 33.3 feet. There we go. I just really need to see which one's Y and which one's X. There's not too much time on Monday to ask questions, so if you have a question, email me and I can respond back to you in first block. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.